Val Kilmer, known for his iconic role as Iceman in Top Gun, may seem like a man who has it all, a global superstar, effortlessly cool on the big screen. But behind the fame and the unforgettable roles lies a life filled with heartbreak and hardship. From early struggles with personal loss to battles with health and career setbacks, Kilmer's story is one of resilience, marked by tragedies few fans realize. In this video, we'll dive deep into the untold story of Val Kilmer, revealing the challenges that have shaped the man behind the legend. Val Kilmer's life has been a series of highs and lows, a roller coaster of fame, personal tragedy, and the pursuit of artistic perfection. Known for his iconic roles such as Iceman in Top Gun and Jim Morrison in The Doors, Kilmer's career reached heights many could only dream of. But beneath the surface of this Hollywood star lies a story of immense personal struggle, one that is defined not just by the tragic events that unfolded in his life, but by his unrelenting drive to master his craft, regardless of the personal cost. To truly understand the complexities of Val Kilmer's journey, we must begin with his early years and explore the emotional toll of personal loss, family dynamics, and the sometimes destructive pursuit of artistic authenticity. The early years, a childhood marked by family struggles. Born in 1959 in Los Angeles, Val Kilmer grew up in a family with 3 boys, including one older brother, Mark, and one younger brother, Wesley. Val's parents, Gladys and Eugene Kilmer, initially gave their sons a relatively stable home. But that stability was shattered when Val was just 9 years old. In 1968, his parents divorced, leaving a lasting emotional scar on Val. The separation was particularly hard on him, as he struggled to process the breakup of his family. Although his father took full custody of the boys, the emotional distance between Val and his father would deepen over time. In interviews, Val has spoken openly about how the divorce left him feeling lost and distant from his father, a feeling that lingered into his adulthood. As a child, he became quieter, more withdrawn, and less outgoing, a stark contrast to the energetic and vibrant child he once was. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Val admitted that the divorce marked the beginning of his internal struggles, shaping him into the person he would later become, a man haunted by unresolved emotional turmoil. Even as he entered adulthood, the wounds left by his parents' separation remained open, often resurfacing during moments of reflection. A passion for acting. The early escape. Despite the pain he carried, Val found solace in an unexpected place: the world of drama. After the divorce, he enrolled in acting classes, seeking an outlet for his emotions and a way to channel his inner conflict. This decision, while seemingly simple, would have a profound impact on his life. Acting became not just a form of expression, but a means of escape. Val quickly fell in love with the craft, using it as a way to transcend his difficult reality. At the age of 12, he landed his first acting role, though it was hardly the success he had hoped for. Kilmer's first significant acting gig was for a hamburger commercial, which, in retrospect, would seem like a trivial project for a young, aspiring actor. But for Val, it was a turning point. His dedication to his craft, even at such a young age, became apparent when he walked off the set of the commercial. The reason? He could not bring himself to authentically portray the character's enthusiasm for the product he was meant to sell. To Kilmer, authenticity in acting was paramount, and he refused to compromise his artistic integrity, even for something as minor as a commercial. This moment would mark the beginning of his career as a method actor, a commitment to fully immersing himself in his roles, no matter the cost. A tragic loss: the death of his brother. Wesley Val's career took a significant leap forward when, at the age of 16, he was accepted into the prestigious Juilliard School of Acting in New York City. Juilliard was a world-class institution, and Kilmer was among its brightest stars, a testament to his talent and commitment. However, just as he was preparing to start this transformative chapter, tragedy struck. His younger brother Wesley, who had been diagnosed with epilepsy, tragically died from a seizure. The loss was devastating, and Val found himself adrift, emotionally unmoored by the death of his brother. Wesley's death marked one of the darkest periods in Kilmer's life. Val had always admired Wesley for his artistic vision and brilliance, often likening him to the likes of Steven Spielberg or George Lucas. Val believed Wesley had a genius that could change the world, and his untimely death shattered Val's sense of purpose. In interviews, Kilmer shared that he struggled with the loss for years, not fully processing it until much later. The emotional weight of this tragedy compounded the other difficulties Val was already grappling with in his personal life, leaving him to navigate a world without the support of his beloved brother. Method acting. Kilmer's obsession with perfection. As Val moved deeper into his acting career, he began to make a name for himself as a method actor. His most famous role as the legendary rock star Jim Morrison in The Doors, 1991, would solidify this reputation. Kilmer's portrayal of Morrison was haunting and intense, capturing the wild, tortured soul of the musician. But the role came at a personal cost. Kilmer's obsessive commitment to becoming Morrison went beyond just studying the musician's life. He immersed himself completely in Morrison's persona, adopting his habits, mannerisms, and even his mindset. This dedication to authenticity, while impressive in its depth, also created significant tension on set. Kilmer's relationship with director Oliver Stone became strained as the production progressed. Stone described Kilmer as a man who spoke from deep within, often without considering how his words might affect others. The set became a battleground, with Kilmer's intense commitment to his role clashing with Stone's vision for the film. Kilmer's diva-like reputation was cemented during this time, as he alienated both his co-stars and the film's crew. The pressure to deliver an authentic portrayal of Jim Morrison took its toll on Kilmer, leading to public feuds and a growing sense of dissatisfaction with his own life. One particularly troubling incident on set involved actress Caitlin O'Henny, who accused Kilmer of assault during an audition. She claimed that Kilmer had picked her up and thrown her to the ground, an event that led to a police report and a settlement. Although the casting director present during the incident denied the allegations, the incident was yet another example of the tumultuous and often toxic atmosphere that surrounded Kilmer's career during this period. Kilmer's marital struggles, the end of his marriage to Joanne Whalley. Kilmer's personal life was no less turbulent. In 1988, while filming Willow, Kilmer met and fell in love with actress Joanne Whalley. Their relationship blossomed, leading to marriage and the birth of 2 children. However, this seemingly perfect love story would not last. By 1996, Val and Joanne's marriage had deteriorated, culminating in a bitter divorce. Reports suggest that infidelity played a role in the breakdown of the relationship, with Kilmer allegedly involved with supermodel Cindy Crawford during the marriage. Kilmer himself attributed much of the strain in his marriage to his commitment to the role of Jim Morrison in The Doors. His intense immersion in the character led to emotional and psychological distance between him and his wife, contributing to the dissolution of their marriage. The divorce proceedings were ugly, with Whalley reportedly serving Kilmer with divorce papers while he was on set in a remote location for the film The Island of Dr. Moreau. The aftermath of the divorce was highly publicized, and Kilmer's reputation continued to suffer, both professionally and personally. A reputation in Hollywood. Kilmer's fall from grace. Kilmer's reputation in Hollywood took a significant hit after the divorce. The production of The Island of Dr. Moreau in 1996 would go down in history as one of the most infamous projects in Kilmer's career. Directed by John Frankenheimer, the film was marred by constant conflicts between the director and Kilmer. Frankenheimer, who publicly expressed his disdain for Kilmer, even went as far as to say, "I will never work with Val Kilmer again. There isn't enough money in the world." This sentiment was echoed by many in Hollywood, who began to see Kilmer as one of the most difficult actors to work with. In a 1996 article for Entertainment Weekly, the headline, "Val Kilmer Makes Enemies in Hollywood," summed up his newfound reputation. His perfectionism, combined with his volatile temperament, made him a pariah on set. While his acting skills remained undeniable, Kilmer's behavior off-camera began to overshadow his talent. Directors, producers, and co-stars alike grew frustrated with his unpredictable and often combative nature, leading to a series of roles that failed to live up to his earlier successes. Val Kilmer, one of the most enigmatic and talented actors of his generation, became a household name in the 1980s and 1990s, with iconic roles in films like Top Gun, Tombstone, Batman Forever, and The Doors. Kilmer was often heralded as one of Hollywood's brightest stars. His career trajectory seemed unstoppable, characterized by both critical acclaim and a devoted fan base. However, his personal life and career have been marked by contradictions and challenges that have overshadowed his professional achievements. Despite his successes, Kilmer's off-screen behavior, particularly his difficult reputation on set, and his ongoing emotional and physical struggles have left a complex legacy. A glimpse into Kilmer's early life. Val Kilmer's early years were shaped by emotional turmoil. Born in Los Angeles in 1959 to a strict and religious family, Kilmer's formative years were impacted by a significant event. His parents divorced when he was just 9 years old. The split left Kilmer, along with his two brothers, in the custody of their father. Val's relationship with his father became strained, a pattern of emotional disconnection that would define much of Kilmer's adult life. He has openly discussed his difficulty processing the emotional fallout from his parents' separation, describing his childhood as one marked by deep contemplation and isolation. His quiet, introspective nature set him apart from his peers, and he often found solace in his burgeoning interest in acting. It was during these years that Kilmer began to develop his passion for drama, a passion that would eventually propel him to success. However, this newfound interest was not without its challenges. Kilmer's early attempts at acting were not smooth. At the age of 12, he auditioned for a role in a hamburger commercial, a seemingly inconsequential job for a young actor. However, Kilmer, ever the perfectionist, walked off the set because he could not bring himself to authentically endorse the product. This decision reflected his commitment to method acting, a style that would later define his career, but also lead to significant challenges in his personal and professional life. Kilmer's journey to Juilliard and tragedy. At 16, Kilmer achieved a significant milestone in his career by gaining acceptance into the prestigious Juilliard School of Acting in New York City. This was a remarkable accomplishment, as Juilliard was a breeding ground for some of the greatest acting talent in the world, including Robin Williams and Christopher Reeve. However, Kilmer's time at Juilliard was marked by tragedy. On the eve of his departure for New York, his younger brother Wesley, who was diagnosed with epilepsy, suffered a devastating seizure. Wesley drowned in the family's swimming pool, leaving Val deeply shaken. The loss of his brother, whom Kilmer regarded as a brilliant artist and intellectual, was a blow that would affect him for the rest of his life. Kilmer has spoken about the long-lasting impact of this tragedy, which seemed to paralyze him emotionally for years. This loss of a brother whom he considered a creative soulmate would come to define Kilmer's emotional world. His grief and mourning over Wesley's death overshadowed much of his early adult life, despite his success in the theater and on screen. He later reflected that he did not truly return to Earth until years after the tragedy, a sentiment that hints at the depths of his unresolved emotional pain. Kilmer's rise to fame and his duality as an actor. Kilmer's breakout role came in 1984 with the film Top Gun, in which he portrayed the arrogant yet skilled fighter pilot Iceman. His performance cemented his status as a leading man in Hollywood. Despite his growing fame, Kilmer was not content to simply coast on his looks or charisma. His commitment to his craft and his tendency to dive deep into roles would become hallmarks of his career, but also sources of frustration on set. Kilmer's portrayal of Jim Morrison in The Doors, 1991, is one of his most celebrated performances, showcasing his ability to transform into the troubled rock star. However, his devotion to the character sometimes led to clashes with the film's director, Oliver Stone, who noted that Kilmer's intensity could sometimes be difficult for others to handle. Kilmer's commitment to his roles, particularly his method acting approach, was both a gift and a curse. On the one hand, it allowed him to bring a level of depth to his characters that few actors could match. On the other hand, it often led to tension and difficulty with directors, co-stars, and even crew members. His portrayal of Jim Morrison was so intense that it reportedly caused friction between him and other cast members. Kilmer's reputation for being difficult on set began to grow, with many in Hollywood noting his stubbornness, volatility, and obsessive nature. In addition to The Doors, Kilmer's role as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, 1993, further solidified his status as one of the best character actors of his generation. His portrayal of the tuberculosis-ridden gunslinger was a standout in an ensemble cast that included Kurt Russell, and it remains one of his most memorable performances. Yet, despite these successes, Kilmer's reputation as a challenging actor overshadowed his achievements. He was known for his diva-like behavior, and his refusal to compromise on set often led to friction with directors, co-stars, and producers. Kilmer's marriages and personal struggles. Kilmer's personal life was as tumultuous as his career. In the 1980s, he married actress Joanne Whalley, with whom he had 2 children, Mercedes and Jack. The couple met on the set of the film Willow, 1988, and their love story seemed destined for the silver screen. However, their marriage ultimately ended in divorce in 1996, a bitter split that was marked by accusations of infidelity and emotional strain. Kilmer's marriage to Whalley became further strained by his commitment to his roles, particularly his portrayal of Jim Morrison, which consumed much of his time and energy. This professional obsession led to a sense of emotional distance between the couple, which Kilmer later admitted contributed to the collapse of their relationship. In the years following his divorce, Kilmer's romantic life remained a subject of public fascination. He briefly dated supermodel Cindy Crawford and later had a highly publicized relationship with actress Daryl Hannah. His time with Hannah seemed to have a profound emotional impact on him, as he later admitted in his memoir, I'm Your Huckleberry, that their relationship was one of the most painful breakups of his life. Kilmer's emotional struggles were compounded by his complicated relationships with women, which seemed to serve as a backdrop to his ongoing personal crises, financial struggles, and the loss of his ranch. Despite his success on screen, Kilmer's financial situation began to falter in the 2000s. In the midst of his career successes, he made a significant real estate investment in the late 1990s by purchasing a sprawling ranch in New Mexico. The 5,000-acre property, known as Forked Lightning, offered Kilmer a serene retreat from the chaos of Hollywood. However, this peaceful sanctuary would soon become a symbol of his financial struggles. By 2006, Kilmer faced significant financial difficulties. He owed the IRS over $500,000 in back taxes and was forced to sell portions of his beloved ranch in an attempt to alleviate his debt. Despite his initial attempts to sell the property for a significant profit, the real estate market collapse and his declining finances meant that he was forced to part with much of the land. By 2011, Kilmer had sold nearly all of the 5,000 acres, leaving him with only a small portion of the land he had once considered his personal haven. Kilmer's health struggles and battle with throat cancer. In 2014, Kilmer's health took a drastic turn for the worse. He began experiencing difficulty swallowing and later awoke one night vomiting blood, an alarming symptom that would eventually lead to the diagnosis of throat cancer. Kilmer initially rejected conventional medical treatment, adhering instead to his faith in Christian Science, a belief system that emphasizes spiritual healing. His decision to reject traditional medical intervention was met with concern from his family, especially his children, who urged him to seek proper treatment. After much resistance, Kilmer finally agreed to undergo surgery for his throat cancer. The surgery, followed by chemotherapy and radiation, was grueling, and Kilmer's once booming baritone voice was left reduced to a rasp. He later described the profound impact of losing his vocal ability, stating that his voice, which had been his greatest asset as an actor, was now beyond his control. This loss was devastating for Kilmer, who had always been known for his distinctive and commanding voice. It marked a significant turning point in his life and career. Despite his health struggles, Kilmer remained determined to fight. He was supported by his children, Jack and Mercedes, both of whom played an active role in caring for him during his recovery. Kilmer's battle with cancer became a public story, and fans around the world rallied behind him as he faced one of his greatest challenges. The physical toll of the disease, combined with his emotional scars from years of personal loss, left Kilmer in a fragile state. A legacy of triumph and struggle. Val Kilmer's life story is one of triumph, tragedy, and complexity. His career, marked by remarkable performances in films like Top Gun, Tombstone, and The Doors, is a testament to his immense talent and dedication. However, his personal struggles, his grief over the loss of his brother, his difficult relationships, his financial troubles, and his battle with cancer paint a picture of an artist constantly at odds with both himself and the world around him. As Kilmer continues to recover from his health battles, his legacy remains intact, a mixture of extraordinary performances and a personal journey defined by both greatness and hardship. His story, full of highs and lows, serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of fame, the cost of artistic dedication, and the resilience of the human spirit.